In the quiet village of Umuwa, where the mornings were cool and the nights were filled with the sound of crickets, lived a young woman named Amina. She was known throughout the village for her beauty and gentle nature. Her skin was smooth and glowing, and her eyes were calm, kind, and full of life. People often said that looking at Amina alone could bring peace to a troubled heart. Amina was married to Kola, a strong and hardworking man who loved her deeply. From the first day of their marriage, Kola treated Amina with care and respect. He never raised his voice at her, never allowed anyone to insult her in his presence, and always reminded her of how precious she was to him. For 5 years, they lived together as husband and wife. Their home was filled with laughter, shared meals, and quiet conversations at night. But as the years passed, one thing remained missing from their home: a child. In Umuwa, a woman without a child was never truly at peace. Motherhood was seen as the greatest honor a woman could have. Children were believed to be blessings from the gods, and a woman's value was often measured by the children she bore. Because of this belief, Amina's life slowly became painful. Every morning, the women of the village gathered by the river to fetch water. It was a place of laughter, gossip, and sharp words. Amina tried her best to avoid trouble, but trouble always found her. As she approached the river with her clay pot, Amaka, a woman with 6 children, would laugh loudly. "Look at her," Amaka would say, not even lowering her voice. "So beautiful, yet no child to show for it." The other women would laugh. "What good is beauty if you cannot give birth?" One would add. "Maybe the gods have closed her womb forever," another would say. Amina would pretend not to hear. She would fill her pot with water, balance it on her head, and walk away with her back straight. But inside her heart, the words were heavy. Each insult felt like a stone pressing against her chest. When she returned home, the silence would swallow her. She would sit alone and cry quietly, wishing with all her heart to hold a child of her own, someone who would call her mother. Kola always noticed her sadness. "My love," he would say, holding her hands, "do not let their words break you. I married you because I love you, not because of children." But the pressure did not end with the village women. Kola's mother, Mama Kola, made Amina's life even more difficult. Mama Kola was a woman who believed strongly in tradition. To her, grandchildren were proof that her son was successful and blessed. Almost every day, she reminded Amina of her failure. "How many years have you stayed in my son's house?" She would shout, 5 years, and nothing to show for it. Amina would bow her head in silence. "My friends are carrying their grandchildren," Mama Kola continued. "Am I cursed to die without seeing mine?" One evening, her words became even more painful. "If you cannot give my son a child," Mama Kola said coldly, "then maybe it is time he finds another woman." That night, Amina could not sleep. Her heart felt shattered. She loved Kola deeply, and the thought of losing him was unbearable. The next morning, after another harsh exchange, Amina could take no more. With tears in her eyes, she ran out of the house and walked past the village, deep into the forest. She did not know where she was going. She only knew she needed peace. As the sun began to set, she found herself standing before a massive tree, the Great Forbidden Tree. The Villagers feared this place. Stories, said spirits, lived there, and anyone who went too close would never return the same. Amina fell to her knees and cried. "O spirits of the land," she pleaded, "I have been mocked, shamed, and broken. If there is any mercy left, bless me with a child. I am willing to do anything." For a long time, there was silence. Then a soft voice spoke behind her. She turned and saw an old woman dressed in white, her hair shining like silver and her eyes filled with wisdom. "I am a servant of the spirits," the woman said. "Why do you cry so deeply, my child?" Amina poured out her pain, the mockery, the shame, the loneliness, and her deep desire for a child. The old woman listened carefully. "If you are truly willing," she said, "then follow the path I will show you." She pointed to a narrow road leading deeper into the forest. Amina followed it, even though fear filled her heart. At the end of the path stood a glowing tree with shimmering leaves. She plucked one leaf and returned. A voice echoed in the forest. "The gift comes with a price." Back at the great tree, the old woman took the leaf. "Plant this in your garden," she instructed. "Water it every day. Be patient." Amina returned home and did exactly as she was told. Days passed, weeks passed. The leaf grew into a strange plant, twisting, glowing, alive. At night, Amina began to dream of a small boy with shining eyes, calling her mother. The villagers whispered again, "She has turned to dark ways," they said. The villagers whispered again, "She has turned to dark ways," they said. But Amina ignored them. One morning, the plant glowed brightly and produced a single golden fruit. That night, the old woman appeared in her dream. "Eat the fruit at sunrise," she said. "But know this, your child will not belong to this world alone." At dawn, Amina ate the fruit. Soon after, she realized she was pregnant. Joy filled her home. Kola cried tears of happiness. Even Mama Kola softened. Months later, Amina gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Chidi. From birth, Chidi was different. He rarely cried. Animals gathered around him. Flowers bloomed where he played. As he grew, his powers became clear. He healed the sick, calmed storms, and spoke to nature. The villagers who once mocked Amina now bowed in respect. Years passed. When Chidi turned 18, he came to his mother. "Mother," he said gently, "it is time." With tears and pride, Amina let him go. As Chidi walked toward the great tree, Amina understood that love sometimes means letting go. And so, the story of Amina and her son, the child of the great tree, lived on a story of pain, patience, sacrifice, and destiny. If this story touched you, like, subscribe, and share. God bless you.